Abby, I want to start with a question, and I want you to answer honestly.
Okay.
How many times do you think you said the word fine today? As in, someone asked you how you are, and you said, I'm fine.
Oh, today specifically? Let me think. My neighbor asked when I was leaving my apartment. Someone at the coffee shop said, how are you? And I texted 2 different people back this morning, and I am pretty sure I said it to both of them. So maybe 4 or 5 times?
And were you fine?
3 of those times. I think yes, I was generally okay. But one of them, I was actually kind of stressed about something. And one of them, I was definitely not fine. I was just tired and a little overwhelmed. But I said fine.
Why?
Because it was the fast answer. Because it was what was expected. Because the person asking, my neighbor, did not actually need to know the full situation.
Right. And I think most of us have this experience every day. We say fine when we mean something else. And usually there is a good reason. But today I want to look at what is actually happening when we say fine, all the different versions of it, and what it costs us over time.
Because I think fine is more interesting than it looks.
It really is. Let us start with the word itself. Fine. It is a very small word for a very large range of states. Fine can mean, I am genuinely okay. Fine can mean, I would rather not talk about it. Fine can mean, I have given up trying to explain. Fine can mean, I do not trust you enough to tell you the truth.
So, same word, very different situations.
Let me walk through 4 types of fine. Because I think once you can recognize which type you are using, it becomes a lot easier to understand what is actually going on.
Okay, 4 types.
Type 1. Social fine. This is the fine you say in situations where a real answer would not be appropriate or expected. The cashier asks how you are. Your coworker passes you in the hallway. Your neighbor catches you at the mailbox. Fine, thanks, is the correct social response. No one is actually asking. It is a ritual greeting. Like saying, nice to meet you. You say it even if you are not sure yet whether it is nice to meet them.
Right. That kind of fine is basically just a polite sound. It is not dishonest. It is just social lubricant.
Good phrase. Social lubricant. That means something that makes social situations run smoothly. Like oil in an engine, it reduces friction. Without it, everything is a little rough.
Okay, type 2?
Type 2. Habit fine. This is the one I find most interesting. Habit fine is when you say fine before you have actually checked how you feel. Someone asks, and the word comes out before your brain has done any real assessment.
Oh, I think I do this a lot.
Most people do. Because we say it so many times a day that it becomes automatic. It is on autopilot. And then you say it, and 10 minutes later you think, wait, was I actually fine? And you realize you have not checked in with yourself at all.
And the scary part of habit fine is that over time, you can stop being able to tell the difference between I said fine because it was automatic and I am fine.
Exactly. If you say fine enough times without checking, you start to lose track of what is actually true. The habit answer becomes the only answer you have access to.
That is a little frightening.
Type 3. Protective fine. This is when you know you are not fine, but you do not want to share that with this specific person. Maybe you do not trust them. Maybe you think they will make it worse. Maybe you have told them things before and it went badly. So you say fine as a wall, as protection.
And that is actually reasonable sometimes. Not every person deserves your honesty. There are people in your life where fine is genuinely the right answer, because giving them a real answer would just create more problems.
Yes, I want to be clear about that. Protective fine is not always a problem. Sometimes it is the right choice.
But sometimes you use protective fine with people who actually care about you, who actually want to know. And then you are protecting yourself from connection, not just from judgment.
Which is where it starts to cost something real.
Type 4?
Type 4. Surrender fine. This is the one that I think is hardest to recognize in yourself. Surrender fine is when you have tried to explain to this person or to people in general or to the world how you actually are. And it did not work. No one really got it, or you felt like a burden, or it was too exhausting to keep trying. So now you say fine. Not because you are fine, but because you have stopped believing that telling the truth will help.
Oh, that one is heavy.
It is, and I think a lot of people live in surrender fine without realizing it. They are so used to it that the word fine has become a kind of quiet defeat. I am fine, meaning I have decided not to try anymore.
And no one knows, because from the outside, fine sounds the same every time.
Right. Social fine sounds the same as surrender fine. You cannot tell the difference from the outside.
So the people around this person have no idea. They think everything is okay.
And the person is increasingly alone. Even in conversations, even surrounded by people.
Okay, let us talk about what all of this costs. Because I think the social fine, that is fine. That costs nothing. That is just how we communicate. But the habit fine, the protective fine with people who care, the surrender fine, those cost something.
The first cost is losing track of yourself. If you never really answer how you are, honestly, to yourself or to others, you start to lose access to your own internal state. You genuinely do not know how you are, because you have not been checking.
I think this happens to a lot of people who are very focused on getting things done. You are in productive mode, and you just keep going. And one day you realize, I have no idea how I have been feeling for the past 6 months. I was just doing things. Fine, fine, fine.
The second cost is that people cannot actually help you. If everyone in your life thinks you are fine, they have no reason to check on you more carefully. They have no reason to offer support. They are responding to the information you gave them.
Which was not the real information.
Right. So you are quietly struggling, and the people who might help are not even aware there is something to help with.
And then you feel alone, and you think, nobody cares. But they do not know.
Third cost, and this is the big one. Over time, the habit of saying fine can become a habit of performing fine. Not just in what you say, but in how you act, how you carry yourself, what you allow yourself to feel. You spend so much energy on the performance of fine that there is not much left for actually working through what is real.
Okay, so what do you actually do? Because I do not want to suggest that everyone needs to give a full, honest answer every time someone says, "How are you?" That would be exhausting for everyone.
No, the goal is not full emotional disclosure at all times. The goal is finding a middle path, something that is more honest than fine, but does not require a 20-minute conversation.
Like, I have had a weird week, honestly. That is 5 words. It takes about 2 seconds, but it is real.
Or, I am okay but a little tired. That is honest. It does not ask anything from the other person, but it is true.
Or getting through it, which is actually a lot more honest than fine for a lot of situations.
Getting through it. I love that one. It acknowledges that something is happening without requiring an explanation.
Or even just a pause before you answer. Not fine immediately. 1 second where you actually check, and then say what is closest to true.
Because the pause is what the habit fine removes. The habit fine skips the checking entirely, and the checking is actually the important part.
Can I tell you something that happened recently? Because I think it illustrates this.
Please.
I had a friend text me and ask how I was doing, and I typed, "I am good, just busy." And then I looked at what I had written, and I thought, that is not true. I am not busy. I am actually a little sad about something. And I deleted it. And I wrote, "Honestly, I am having a hard week. Nothing big, just a lot of small things piling up." And she wrote back, "Me too, actually. Do you want to talk?"
And did you want to talk?
I really did. And we had a really good conversation. And afterwards, I felt so much better. And I thought, if I had sent that first message, we would have had no conversation at all. Just two people exchanging busy and moving on.
One honest sentence opened the door.
One honest sentence. And it was not even that honest. It was just slightly less not honest.
That is enough. It does not have to be everything. It just has to be a little bit true.
Fine is the word we use when we do not want to explain everything. But here's the thing I keep coming back to. After a while, you start to believe it yourself. You say it enough times that it stops feeling like a shortcut and starts feeling like a fact.
And then one day, someone who actually cares about you asks, "Really, how are you doing?" And you open your mouth and you realize, you actually do not know. Because you have not checked in a long time.
Do not let fine become the only answer you have.
Check in, even just with yourself, even if you do not say it out loud, just once a day. How am I actually doing right now?
And if you are with someone you trust, give them one honest thing. It does not have to be everything. Just one thing that is true.
Fine can be a pause before you know what to say. It can be a social nicety. It can be genuine. But it should not be the wall that keeps people out, not the people you actually want in.
All right, thank you everyone. Take care of yourselves. And genuinely, if someone asks how you are this week, try pausing for 1 second before you answer.
See you next time.